Yeah. Get high rapper. The Man Hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the Man Hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Heavy saying what the fuck and never watered down. It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules and know that it be fair and foul. Rep blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the lines. It's the Man Hour though, now we going live.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the Mike and Mike Man Hour. I am Michael Buckhuister here, the host of tonight's show, guys. And as always, we are still giving away that $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is like our Facebook page to get an entry. You can get additional entries by simply sharing this live stream. That gives you 10 more entries. Becoming a top fan, there's another 100 entries once you become a top fan. And then, of course, you can join some trash talk groups as well. Those are 2 more entries for that as well. And, of course, every time you invite some friends to join one of our trash talk groups, it shows me who is invited over there. And we give you 2 more entries for that as well. Man, it is super, super easy to get this $100 Amazon gift card. And we are giving it away as soon as we hit that 500 like button. We are at 450 at last check before tonight's show. By the end of the week, guys, I would love to hit that 500 mark. I mean, we saw exponential growth the first couple weeks, and it's kind of, it's kind of plateaued a little bit. But you know what? We have faith in you guys. Share this content out with some people. Get it out. Let's hit that 500 likes. I want to give away a $100 Amazon gift card. It is simple as that. Welcome everybody that is in the chat over there on YouTube Live. We see you guys. We see you, Jameson. I don't know how to say your name there, but it's something gaming over there on YouTube channel. Woo, I had to sneeze there, boys. I'm sorry about that. We are also live on Periscope as well tonight. Over on Facebook, on the RTS Sports Network page as well. Guys, I've been working really, really hard on that, and we got that website up and going again. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning of the week on that, but we got it back up. We got it going, and I'm excited. I mean, August 3rd is approaching, and that is going to be one of the biggest days of RTF Sports Network history. Guys, we have... just watch the website. See what is about to happen. August 3rd, RTS Sports Network, guys. Keep that in mind. August 3rd, 7 a.m. It is going down. Do we have a possible 2-hour morning show coming for you? Do we? Who knows? Check out the website and get it rolling. But normally on this time, and I would bring in my brother from another mother, Mike LeBlanc, but he got wrapped up today. He is hitting those minefields, and he is grinding away. And I have nothing but praise for the man. Every time he works, it makes me work that much harder. So guys, definitely when he comes back tomorrow, it is his birthday weekend. Michael LeBlanc's birthday is coming up, guys. So send him all the happy birthdays tomorrow when he comes back on to the show. And we have to give him a big, big happy birthday shout out. I mean, we might even see him singing some happy birthday. So if you guys have the pipes, just make a little TikTok. Sing some happy birthday stuff to us. Send it over to the Mike and Mike and Man Hour inbox, and we'll play it on air. So if we get any happy birthdays in our inbox, we will get those played for you guys. And it is, man, tonight's show is going to be something special. I've been giving you guys the top 10 running backs that I think throughout the day on our Instagram and Facebook pages. If you aren't following us on Instagram, you should. Mike and Mike Man Hour over on Instagram, and we're on Twitter as well at Mike Man Hour. We've also been sharing it like as well on there. We have gone all the way up to number 4. So on tonight's show, I'm going to give you guys number 3, 2, and 1, and of course recap the other 7 that we have gotten into. But, I have to speak my mind a little bit, speak about what is going on in my neck of the woods, right? So, guys, we are all aware of the social injustice that is happening in the world. We are all aware that we want justice for Breonna Taylor. We all are aware that we want justice for George Floyd, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So, where I work in downtown, there is I don't want to call it a daycare because it's kind of like a developmental school per se. So it is for kids that have they're like autistic, and they are not fully developed in the brains and bodies and etc. So I don't know what the proper name of this place is, but it is a school for those type of kids to get more hands-on, more one-on-one attention to learn and to grow and to be productive people in society, right? So I've been working back at the office now for 2-3 months-ish, two months or so, and every day on the sidewalk, a teacher, which is a white teacher, plays hangman with his students, right? So if you guys have never played hangman, it is a game where you draw like a little L or maybe like a 7 with like a little thing down, and you have a word and you draw lines underneath that and you guess letters to spell out a phrase or like a word, and if you miss it, you get a head and then a body, arms and legs, right? I mean, everybody my age has played it. Like I kind of thought it has kind of gone obsolete a little bit, but then again, I'm kind of like, well, shit. Like if they do it, it's still politically correct, right? So where I'm getting at this is there was a white teacher playing with a black student playing hangman. Like I said, they do this every day. I see it on the sidewalk every day. So, because I take a little walk around lunchtime to clear my head, to get out, to get some fresh air, to get some of that 95-degree humidity in my face, right? And it's there every day. And it's not the same one. It's a new one because they the sidewalk has the blocks and they work their ways down, right? So back to what I was saying. It was a white teacher with a black student. And for whatever reason, there happened to be a group of protesters walking through our little what's the word I'm looking for, like a corporate, so like all of our office buildings are in one big old it's kind of like a shopping center, but for office buildings. It's not an industrial park. It's it's office buildings, suit and ties type of things. So they were walking through that. I'd assume they were going to the other side of the river to protest, but for whatever reason they stopped and they saw this teacher playing hangman with a black student. And you thought the world would have froze over when these group of protesters saw this. I'm assuming they were Black Lives Matter because that there is a Black Lives Matter protest every day in Louisville now, since May, so going on a couple months here. So I'm not assuming, but I'm assuming it was probably Black Lives Matter. They raked this white guy over the coals, left, right, up, down, sideways, in between, inside out, for playing hangman with a challenged student. This student literally broke down and was shaking so bad and crying because the student had no idea what was going on, and this teacher was he didn't know to fight back, to take he was just so baffled of them attacking him. Physically, not physically, but verbally attacking him, saying that it is racist that he's he is doing this and this and this, and he is wrong. He's it is things like this is really gets underneath my skin, and guys, I had to walk away. I wanted to help the guy, but me being another white person helping another white person to aid, it would have caused a big scene. I didn't want any part of it whatsoever, unfortunately. So I have to be honest. I walked away from the situation, and I feel bad about it. And quite frankly, if I were to do that situation again, I think I would have to do it again. I would have to walk away again, unfortunately. It's just that's just the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, at the end of the day. But let's go on and move past that point. Let's go ahead and get to some key topics today. So we do have let me answer some questions in the chat here. So like I said, on the other side of the break, we're going to get to my top 10 running backs going into the 2020 season. Officially, the preseason has been canceled in the NFL, so we're going to get into that a little bit. And then, sports are back. I was at my brother-in-law's house tonight. We were having like our family supper, kind of bullshitting and like all the good stuff. I mean, we have a great time, and we watched basketball. Yes, it was preseason. Yes, Zion was sitting out, but JJ Redick hit a big three and taunted the bench, and man, I'm like, damn, basketball is back. I was pumped, but we're going to get into it. We're going to give my true thoughts about it, because we are going to be right back right after this break. Listen to this song from my man Jay Tiggs. Let us know what you think about it. We'll be back.
Give their family if they ever mention me. Long as the money come, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm dropping songs, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm getting paid, they gon' keep on talking about me. Fuck opinions anyway, let them keep on talking about me. Long as the money come, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm dropping songs, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm getting paid, they gon' keep on talking about me. Fuck opinions anyway, let them keep on talking about me. Let a nigga say I can't, I made it happen then. Realest nigga in the room, y'all a bunch of mannequins. The loudest in the room is Pope, I may never speak again. Looking for a sheep's opinion, it's the wrong minds then. Niggas start to count me out, I just count it up. Half off on haters cashing out, cause I ain't got enough. Attitude Sierra Russ, I ain't used to give a fuck on niggas next like bow ties. I don't plan on letting up. Told niggas I was taking off, ain't no catching up. Always counting blessings, being lucky just ain't good enough. Nowadays niggas need Oscars, they acting tough. Money ain't the topic, then my name you shouldn't bring it up. Niggas told me I was fake, it didn't mean much. Wake them up like Folgers, they just hit me with the mean mugs. Throwing dirt on JT's, gon' drag it through the mud. Long as they keep talking about me, I'll never be a dud. Long as the money come, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm dropping songs, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm getting paid, they gon' keep on talking about me. Fuck opinions anyway, let them keep on talking about me. Long as the money come, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm dropping songs, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm getting paid, they gon' keep on talking about me. Fuck opinions anyway, let them keep on talking about me. Heard niggas talking about me, but I got tunnel hearing. Seen niggas turn on me, must be full of power scaring. Standing on my own 10, guess that I was overbearing. Lord protect me from the rumors, people started disappearing. A lot of people talking shit, guess they got a potty mouth. If they ever talk me down, they can never talk me out. I don't do the sneak, this is called that a whisper out. Money talk, most you niggas quiet as a church mouth. Silency is secrecy, I don't really talk a lot. If you not talking money, then I might just lose my train of thought. When you start making moves, that's gonna bring the gossip out. If they talking on my name, that's what they gon' gossip about. You heard that I'm moving up, bitch, this ain't the Jeffersons. Wanna tell my peers something, tell them who I'm better than. Talk with moms the other day, she told me that I better win. Love a lot of people in the spring, foul weather friends. Long as the money come, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm dropping songs, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm getting paid, they gon' keep on talking about me. Fuck opinions anyway, let them keep on talking about me. Long as the money come, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm dropping songs, they gon' keep on talking about me. Long as I'm getting paid, they gon' keep on talking about me. Fuck opinions anyway, let them keep on talking about me. Hey, hey, let them keep on talking about me. Hey, hey, let them keep on talking about me. Hey, hey, let them keep on talking about me. Fuck them niggas' opinions, that don't mean shit, keep them talking about me. Hey.
And welcome back to the Mike and Mike Man Hour, guys. Here, Michael Buckheiser here, coming at you live right here on the Facebook page, Mike and Mike Man Hour Facebook page, RTF Sports Network Facebook page as well. I mean, guys, we are all over. We are on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio as well, if you prefer to listen to us in podcast form. But as always, we are on the RTFSportsNetwork.com noon edition East Coast time. And I believe as of August 3rd, that time will stay the same. But if that time does change, guys, we will let you know here, right here on our Facebook Live page. We are live on Facebook from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. East Coast time Sunday through Thursday. Now, I want you guys to weigh in on this topic here and whatnot. So, earlier in the day, I was making a post on the old interwebs, on the old Twitter machine, on the old Instagram, Facebook, etc., of the top 10 running backs in the league going into 2020 season. Like, who do I think will finish, 1 through 10? Now, I did get some flack on number 7. My man, Brandon Coombs, I mean, he is always there to put me in check. But you know what? It is what it is, because I believe this is how they're going to pan out in the 2020 season. So first things first is number 10, I had Chris Carson from the Seattle Seahawks. I think he is the most underrated running back in the NFL. In 2019, he rushed for 1,230 yards and averaged 4.4 yards per carry. The only downside about Chris Carson's season was he did only have 7 touchdowns. Going into the 2020 season, he is going to be the man on Seattle. Seattle Seahawks are going to be a scary good team, guys. They're going to be flying under the radar, and I could see them like the next thing you know, it is week 16. They are sitting Russell. They're sitting EJ. They're sitting Tyler Lockett because they're 12-2 going into week 16, right? Like I could see that happening. But they're going to be a quiet, scary good, much like the Packers were last year. They were 13-3, right? People said that it was a sloppy 13-3. It was a weak schedule, 13-3. It doesn't matter. They're still 13-3, right? The Seattle Seahawks have an opportunity to do this, but Chris Carson is going to be the focal point of that offense. I think he is going to go for 1,500 yards this season and definitely double his touchdown production. I'm looking about 15 to 16 touchdowns this season. Number 9, I had Aaron Jones from the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones did only rush for 1,084 yards last season, but also had a 4.4 yards per attempt average there. However, he did score 19 touchdowns. He found the end zone, guys, 19 times in 2019. I look for Aaron Jones to be right around the same rushing numbers, right around the 1,100 yards, but I look for his passing game, like his pass catching ability, to explode in the 2020 season. Because everybody has been talking about Aaron Rodgers and playing with this chip on the shoulder, and he has no wide receiver cores, yada, yada, yada. The Green Bay Greg over there from Twist Nation, he has sold me on those Green Bay Packers receivers, and I've been watching some film, and I've been watching their downfield threat. Aaron Jones is going to be open in the flats a lot this season. He's going to be a big part of that passing game, and that's why I have him sliding into the number 9 spot there. Number 8, Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals. Many of the people are saying, who the hell is Joe Mixon, right? Well, Joe Mixon has been a scary running back for Cincinnati. I mean, like last year, obviously. But the fact that he doesn't have any notoriety on anybody's list is because he's in Cincinnati. That's the only reason. Because, Cincinnati has won like 6 games in the last 3 years. It's been something ridiculous, right? But Joe Mixon rushed for 1,137 yards last season with just 5 touchdowns. But that was because the Cincinnati Bengals could never find the end zone. Like every time they would be driving down the field, it would be an interception or a fluke fumble or something to that effect. A healthy A.J. Green and a new quarterback in Joe Burrow is going to be the difference in Joe Mixon's career. This year is going to make or break Joe Mixon, and I think he knows that. I think he's going to get around 1,300 yards this season, but I'm looking for his touchdowns to go way up. Yes, he only had 5. It would not surprise me if he had 15 to 17 touchdowns just on the ground. Also 3 or 4 to add more on the air rate as well. So as I was alluding to, the number 7, I got some flack from my man Brandon Coombs and his co-host. I believe his co-host is Chris as well. They're from Triple Shot Sports. I am looking for the shots. They always deliver them, and I counterpunch them right back. Like, yes, mommy, may I have some more? But number 7 is going to be Derrick Henry from Tennessee Titans. Yes, I know. Derrick Henry had a fabulous second part of the season. He had a fabulous postseason when he had 500 yards in the postseason. But look at those 8 previous games in the middle, at the beginning of the season. There's a game in Denver. What was it, like week 6 or week 7? They went to Denver. He had 16 attempts for like 28 yards. Yes, I know he's still a dynamic back. That's why I have him number 7. That's why he's in the top 10, because he is a dynamic back. But I think he is going to take a little step back this year from last year. Last year he did have 1,540 yards, but this average per touch was 5.1 yards per carry. Absolutely crazy. The only downfall of his really thing was his pass catching ability out of the backfield, but he still had 500 he had 150 some yards out of the catching the ball. Now, I look for him to have around 1,200 yards this season with 15 touchdowns. That is going to be down from the last year when he had 1,500 yards. The reason why I say that is because he did sign a deal, right? He is going to run out of bounds a little bit more to save his body for those 4-year deal. He is entering his 5th or 6th year into the league. Running back shelf life is 5 to 6 years. He, give him about week 9, week 10, he's going to have that ankle injury. He's going to have that sore hammy. He is a bowling ball. He bruises and runs down the field straight, right? He has a 4-year contract to look at now. You're going to see him run out of bounds a little bit more this season, so that's why I see the yardage going down. But I do see the touchdowns going up because I do think the Titans have found their offensive mojo, so he is still number 7. Number 6, I have Le'Veon Bell. Yes. I got flack for this too. Le'Veon Bell, what has he done since 2017 or whatever it was? Exactly. So Le'Veon Bell did take 2018 off, and then 2019 he only rushed for 789 yards. But also, they had 8 to 9 guys in that box. Every play Le'Veon Bell was in there. Teams were there to say, beat us through the air, and the Jets couldn't. The Jets have improved massively in the offseason. I look for them to be, 8-8 this season, 7-9, much better than their 5-12 last year. But Le'Veon Bell is going to have 1,200 to 1,300 yards. And I see him finding the end zone double-digit times, so 10 to 11 touchdowns as well. Big, but Le'Veon Bell is that focal point of that offense still. Plus, they have other weapons like Frank Gore as well, and they have a slew of running backs. I think they have 4 running backs with 2 years of experience or less, so I don't even know their names. Absolutely handful of running backs. Number 5, Dalvin Cook from the Minnesota Vikings. The same Dalvin Cook that I believe he wanted to trade just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but he does crack the top 5 for me for running backs going into the 2020 season. He had 1,100 yards in 2019, 4.5 yards per carry. Now, even a bigger stat for him, 519 receiving yards with just under 10 yards per catch. He was Kirk Cousins' security blanket all season. I look for him to be much of that, if not more, out of the passing game this year. Almost put up Christian McCaffrey type numbers from 2019. I see him rushing for 1,300 yards and 700 to 800 yards receiving because of the exit of Stephon Diggs. I just think he's going to be mass improved coming out of the backfield this season. Number 4, this is going to become a big surprise for damn near everybody. These top 4 receivers, 3 of them are from the NFC East. NFC East is full of running backs, right? Number 4 is going to be Miles Sanders. Who? Philadelphia Eagles running back Miles Sanders. Okay? He did only rush for 818 yards last season, but he also averaged 4.6 yards per touch. The second highest so far on our list. But I look for him to double the yardage almost, giving him 1,400 to 1,500 yards this season with double-digit touchdowns. 17 to 18 touchdowns on the ground for him. He's going to be Carson Wentz's best friend. They're going to feed him 20-plus times a game because of that receiving core that the Philadelphia Eagles have. Slim to none. I mean, that receiving core that the Philadelphia Eagles have is rough, but just good enough to keep that safety out of the box, giving Miles Sanders some room to run. Now, these are the posts that were not on our Facebook page. We're going to tell you guys it right after the break. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Mike and Mike Man Hour. That music kind of stopped it abruptly, and I wasn't prepared for it. My bad. But welcome back to the Mike and Mike Man Hour, guys. I am Michael Buckheister, the host of tonight's show, guys. We are still giving away that $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is like this Facebook page, share this with a couple friends. It would be nice if you would share this. You get some more entries into the giveaway, and we're giving away the $100 Amazon gift card as soon as we hit 500 likes. We're at 450 right now. I just checked. We're at 463 now. So since the start of the show, we gained 13 likes. So guys, I definitely appreciate that. We are streaming live on our Facebook page, also our YouTube page, and rtfsportsnetwork.com Facebook page as well. What is up, Jameson? Thank you for tuning in, man. Jameson is a top fan, guys, so he gets 100 more entries into the Amazon gift card. How do you get top fan status? Interact with us in the comments. So if you guys are just now tuning in, I am going over the top 10 running backs that I think is going to go into the 2020 season. We're at number 3 right now. So just to recap, at number 10, I had Chris Carson from the Seattle Seahawks. Number 9 had Aaron Jones from the Green Bay Packers. Number 8, Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 7, I had Derrick Henry from the Tennessee Titans. Yes, I got in some slack on this, but I'm holding firm on this pick. Number 6, I put Le'Veon Bell from the New York Jets. Almost said Pittsburgh Steelers. He just looks so weird in green, but whatever. Number 5, I had Delvin Cook from the Minnesota Vikings. Number 4, Miles Sanders from the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're now to number 3. You guys remember when I said the NFC East has 3 running backs in the top 4? Well, number 3 is another NFC running back, Saquon Barkley. Barkley had 1,000 yards or 1,003 yards from scrimmage last year, averaging 4.6 yards per carry, but only had 6 touchdowns. In the receiving side of things, he had 52 receptions for 438 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Giants are a massively improved team. Yes, I am buying the New York Giants stock right now. As a passive Cowboys fan, I am scared of the New York Football Giants because of Saquon Barkley himself. I think he is going to improve on his rushing total from last year. He would have about 1,450 yards competing for that rushing title. He is going to double, if not triple, that touchdowns. So if you triple it, 6 times 3 is how many kids? I think he's going to be around 18 to 19 touchdowns total touchdowns. That's receiving as well. And then I look for him to get around 700 yards receiving as well. I can definitely see him putting that team on his back and definitely leading to the Giants a lot of surprising wins. I believe when we broke down the season earlier, I had them going 6-10. Guys, they're looking like more like an 8-8, 9-7 team the more I see them, because Saquon Barkley is really, pushing me up that hill, pushing me up that Giants bandwagon hopping fan wheel, whatever you want to call it. Number two. Let me wet the whistle a little bit. I am putting Christian McCaffrey at number 2. Yes, I know what he did last season. He had 1387 yards rushing, 4.8 yards per rush, 15 touchdowns. He also had 1,000 yards receiving, 8.7 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. Yes, I with a backup quarterback. Yes, I know. Now they had Teddy Bridgewater. That's exactly my point. Last year, Christian McCaffrey had to carry the team because they had a backup quarterback in a starting role. This year, they have a true starting quarterback. They have a quarterback, I think, that's going to carry the team and take the load off of Christian McCaffrey. So that's why I think his total stats are going to go down this season. I think his rushing yards will be right there on par. He'll get 1,200 to 1,300 yards this season. I look for about 17 to 18 touchdowns, but the receiving is going to go down about 600 or 700. I don't think he is going to be quite the threat coming out of the backfield this year because of the ability of Teddy Bridgewater to push the ball down the field. Earlier, we had the Carolina Panthers going pretty bad. I think it was like 3-13, 4-12. So they're going to be in a lot of situations since he did just sign a mega deal to kind of protect him as well. So giving us the number 1 running back going into 2020 from what I feel, Michael Buckeister from the Mike and Mike Man Hour on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys. He had 13,507 yards last season, 4.5 average, 12 touchdowns. Also 420 yards receiving for 2 touchdowns as well. The reason why I think Ezekiel Elliott, I think he is going to push that 1,800-yard rushing envelope this season. This Mike McCarthy offense and just the Dallas Cowboys and the offense in general, on paper, it is so explosive. It looks like the Kansas City Chiefs, like these guys will not be able to get stopped. They're going to have, Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton competing for a quarterback spot, pushing each other week in and week out. So therefore that offense is going to click because they are not going to be afraid to pull Dak Prescott on the bench and put Andy Dalton in. I think Andy Dalton's going to fit this Cowboys offense great. He's going to be able to push the ball down the field to Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and the other boy. I can't remember his his name right now, but it is going to open up the running game for Ezekiel Elliott. Like I said, last year he had 13,507. Guys, I'm looking at 1,800 yards, 20-plus touches per game for Ezekiel Elliott. I really think he's going to have a great year. He is going to hold the rushing title at the end of the 2020 season, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to they will win the NFC East. So, guys, let's go ahead and recap my list again. Number 1, we have Ezekiel Elliott. 2, we have Christian McCaffrey. 3, Saquon Barkley. Number 4, Miles Sanders. 5, Delvin Cook. 6, Le'Veon Bell. Number 7, Derrick Henry. Number 8, Joe Mixon. And number 9, Aaron Jones. And last but not least, number 10, from the Seattle Seahawks, the most underrated running back in all of NFL, Chris Carson. Alrighty, guys. Now it is time to move on to what am I most happy about from tonight. What I was happy about is when I went to my brother-in-law's house, guys, I sat on the couch. He had NBA TV on, and by God, I saw some NBA basketball. Yes, it was preseason. Yes, there was no fans in there, but, I saw basketball on TV. No more watching soccer, no more watching Korean baseball, no more watching cars turn left. I saw actual basketball. I saw a ball being dribbled, slam dunk, like I saw Bull, 7'2" himself. Did you guys know he's 7'2", 220 pounds? I'm 6'2", 230. Damn, boy, you are a foot taller than me and I weigh 10 pounds more than you. But I digressed on that. I saw basketball. But this is the most comical thing that I saw. So they are basketball, sweaty people, sweaty individuals, rubbing each other, boxing each other out, slapping hands, etc. But when they went on the bench, they were all socially distancing, wearing masks. I was like, what? Aren't you guys in a NBA bubble? You're in the bubble. Everybody's being tested damn near daily, if not twice a day even. I mean, excessive amounts of testing. They are taking every precaution for people not to get COVID inside the bubble. But yet you guys are socially distancing and wearing these masks. It didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I have to jump over the chats here. Let me digress to the last segment. Mr. Brandon Coombs, you like to jump in late. Guessing you have Le'Veon Bell as 7th ranked player and Pau Gasol up at number 4. Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. LeBron as 7th ranked player and Pau Gasol as 4th. I don't know much about basketball, son. My bad. But nonetheless, I mean, LeBron is one of the top players in the NBA. Pau Gasol was pretty good too, right? From what I saw with the Lakers. Was that Pau Gasol or was that his brother? What's his name? His brother's name is Marc Gasol. Is that his brother's name? But nonetheless, let me get back on track, Brandon. Jeez, son, you're always wanting to divert me on this train track, and I'm trying to have an intelligent conversation with myself and you people. And jeez, but what I'm saying is this whole NBA bubble thing a myth? Like, why are we socially distancing on the bench wearing masks? Why are the commentators sitting 8 feet apart wearing masks when you guys are all supposed to be isolated in this bubble anyways? Makes zero sense to Michael Buckheister. In this Mike and Mike Man Hour, I'm sure Mike LeBlanc would think the same thing. I miss you, buddy. Happy birthday coming up. But guys, don't get me wrong. I was happy to see basketball. I have never been so happy to see a preseason basketball game before in my life until tonight. Man, I saw a couple stars on there from the Denver Nuggets. That Luke, the L word, the guy from Rushers or something. Brandon, I always have intelligent conversations with my brother. Just because your facts are skewed and mine are straight and narrows, I mean, it is what it is. But guys, basketball is back. Sports are back in general. I believe opening night for Major League Baseball is Friday, if I'm not mistaken, or Thursday. Whatever. It is less than 24 hours away. Baseball is coming as well. So let me get into baseball a little bit. Brandon, I know you are a baseball fan, and some other people in the chat. Trent, I know you're a baseball fan as well. I'm a Kansas City Royals fan. I obviously got my blue and white KC on. They played the Houston Astros the other day in a preseason spring training expedition type of game, right? In the spring training game, 3 players from the Arizona Cardinals were hit by pitches. Now, they weren't like 100-mile-an-hour fastballs up by the shoulders. I believe the average speed of the hitting by pitches were underneath 85 miles an hour. So they're throwing like curveballs and whatnot, etc. 2 of the times the bases were loaded for the Houston Astros. So when the Royals pitchers did hit these players, they ended up scoring a run. I believe the Royals lost the game, but that's nothing new if you're a Royals fan. None of your bandwagon Hawkins from 2013, 2014, 2015. You guys can all kick rocks and get out of here. But I digress on that. What I'm bringing up here is the reason why these players are getting hit is because of the cheating scandal that happened when the Houston Astros won the World Series. I've been on record. I've said this many, many times. The only reason why people are mad at the Houston Astros is because they got caught. That is the only reason why they're, quote, policing the system. I air quote that for you people listening on iTunes Radio, iHeartRadio, or Spotify. I'm air quoting for that. Guys, let's be honest. Everybody in the Major League Baseball system was cheating that year. If you weren't, you were stupid. Just like if you weren't using steroids back in the steroid era, you are stupid. If the advantage is there, take it. Let me repeat that for a little slower for you non-so-listening people. Brandon Combs. If the opportunity is there, take it. If there is not a rule regulating the shady gray area, take it. Make them make a rule. Make them make an example out of somebody. 9 times out of 10, it probably won't be you unless you're a superstar. There is a difference between stealing signs and using cameras and buzzers. I don't know anything about the buzzers, but I do know they were banging bats and whatnot in the dugout. Just face it, Brandon. If your team, I believe you are a Cubs fan, if I'm not mistaken, it is not their fault that the cameras were set up perfectly where they could see the signs. Baseball is a game of cheating. Baseball is a game of cheating. He says there is a rule against technology to steal signs. There wasn't then. Show me in the rule book where it says that you cannot use your camera to steal signs. There might be there one now, but I'm pretty sure that there wasn't then when this was happening. So, like I said, rules are there to be broken, right? Nonetheless, if you're not cheating in baseball, you are not trying. What do you do to try to get to first to second? You steal second. You are cheating to get to second, right? How about this? When I'm on second base leading off, step, shuffle, right? I'm looking in at the catcher to see if I can see some signs, to pick them up, to give my batter tips to let them know. What is the difference between that running from that runner on second looking in or a camera? I'll wait. There's nothing different. The only reason why people are mad at the Astros, and I guess they're probably going to be mad at the Red Sox as well, because Brandon says the 2015 Red Sox are getting in trouble for it as well. You guys are just mad because they, quote, got caught. And they happened to win the World Series. It's not my fault that you didn't think of it to get an advantage for yourself. It's not my fault that my Kansas City Royals, race to 100 losses year in and year out. Congratulations, guys, by the way. This year we will finish with no less than 50 losses. I'm very excited about that. First time in a long time. But let me get back on track and a little bit here. The reason why I brought this up is because I wonder how long hitting of the Houston Astro batters is going to take place, and before somebody like the commissioner of Major League Baseball is going to step in. Now, back in the day, in the steroid era, or even probably early to mid 2000s, baseball policed itself, right? If you flip the bat, you got hit by a pitch the next time. If you stared down the home run ball a little too long, you got a high inside heater the next pitch. Basically, pitchers don't like to be showing up what it comes down to. If I was a major league hitter, I would do that every time just to piss that pitcher off. So what I'm saying is, that's kind of the old school mentality. Now, these new school kids are trying to police an old school way that they don't even know how to do it. So what I'm afraid of, and there's going to be some young pitcher. Usually, when you hit a batter, you aim for their butt, right, or their arm. There's going to be some young pitcher that's going to lose control. He's going to hit a 96.5 mile-an-hour fastball up around the neck, and it's going to hurt a Astros player. Then what happens? Major League Baseball is going to step in sooner than later. They're probably going to let it go for about a week, 6-7 games, and then they're going to step in and do something. The umpires are probably going to pre-warn the benches before the game even starts. They're going to give the warning. Anybody gets hit, you're out of here, right? That's exactly what's going to happen. Houston Astros are probably going to win another World Series again this year. They are a team that is built for the short season. There are a few teams that are built for the short season. I'm going to throw out the Cincinnati Reds. I think the White Sox are built for a short season as well. And, maybe like a team like the Twins or the Brewers, they're built for a short season as well. So, guys, there are going to be some sleepers in the Major League World Series this year in the playoffs in general. So I'm really looking forward to baseball season. It looks like I'm getting close on time, so let me go ahead and speed it up here. So last night we announced on the show that the NFL preseason is officially canceled. No preseason games going into the 2020 season. With that being said, I have to ask the question, does this affect Cam Newton's likelihood to start week 1? I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I'm going to go with a yes. So I'm asking people in the comments section here to let me know. Give me a hashtag yes or a hashtag no. Do you think by having no preseason games in the 2020, this affects Cam Newton's likelihood to start week number 1? The reason why I'm asking this is because most battles for that number 1 spot are won on week 2, week 3 of preseason games, right? Week 1, there Stenham would have started. He probably would have played 3 quarters or so, maybe a half. Second week, he definitely would have played a half, but Cam Newton would have played the whole second half. And then third game, you would have saw who was going to be the starter. It was going to be Cam Newton or Jarrett Stenham. And I think that's when Cam Newton would have take the realms and led that team. Now, with that not happening, yes, there is still competition. Yes, there's still practices. Yes, you'll have inter-squad scrimmages. Hell, they might even have what's the team that's close by there? Would they have the Jets come by? No, they'll probably have the Giants come on by and play a soap scrimmage, like an inter-squad scrimmage. You get 25 plays, you get 25 plays, that kind of thing, right? But like I said, guys, I am a firm believer that once you turn on the lights, you are a different type of player. I don't care what you say. Some people are practice all-stars. I have a few kids on my high school team. They are practice all-stars. You see them flying around the field, hitting motherfuckers in the in the face, wrapping people up, picture perfect. But man, once those Friday night lights turn on, their buttholes pucker up and they're shitting their pants. Scared little bitches, right? Same thing about me. I half-assed practice. Like, I was there where I needed to be, and I wasn't going to hit you hard because you were my teammate. You were my brother at the end of the day. God didn't want to have a chance to hurt you. I knew my starting job was locked in because I was a bad motherfucker, right? But then those Friday nights come on, I was flying all over the field. Those Saturday nights come on, I was flying all over the field. Man, it's just there's something different about it. Playing under the lights. Cam Newton would have rose to the occasion and basically ripped that spot from Jarrett Stenham week 2, week 3 of the preseason. He would have. Jameson says there is no way Jarrett Stenham is going to start week 1. Cam Newton will definitely start. And I'm afraid that's not going to happen because the public has not been able to publicly see Cam Newton take the realms, to take the team, to earn that starting spot, right? You always have that opportunity to rip it from people. We saw it when Tony Romo got hurt a couple years ago and Dak Prescott came in, and he was forced into that position, but he ripped it away and he ran with it. He never looked back, right? Cam Newton would have done the same thing with Jarrett Stenham during the preseason. Now, does this affect his likelihood to start week 1? The answer to that question is yes. It does affect the likelihood of him starting week 1. Does Cam Newton still start week 1? I got to go with yes. I think Cam Newton is going to start week 1. I'm going to re-break down the New England Patriots. I think I had them going 8-8, 7-9. Guys, they're looking like a more and more like 11-5 team again. If Cam Newton is healthy, I would be surprised if they do not win that division again this season. Patriots are locked and loaded again to make another big run. Now, the other question that I was going to rise without having preseason games, how does this affect Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, right? Because, like I said, there's practice speed, there's scrimmage speed, and then there's game time speed, right? Mike Evans might run a 4.4 or whatever he runs 4.3, but In practice, he's only running 4.6. And like in the scrimmage, he ramps it up to about 4.5, 4.4. But once that game's on, the adrenaline's pumping, that bro's running 4.3, 4.2, right? It just, there's game speed. Boom, boom, boom. And there's also those players that, like I said, you run great in helmets, but once you put those pads on, that 4.4 becomes a 4.6, right? So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to look like total ass week 1 versus the New Orleans Saints. Let me repeat that. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady are going to look like total ass week 1 versus Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Preseason, like I said, I have written off preseason. I was never a big fan of it to watch personally, but it was bigger for the players than they actually know. Let's be honest. It was bigger for the players than they actually know, because timing got better. You knocked off the rush. You got to hit some people in the mouth. You got hit, and then that week 1 rolled around. You were ready to go. You weren't firing on all cylinders by any means, but you were firing on 6 or 7, right? Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be a 4-cylinder Nissan Altima versus a Ford truck V8, right? They're going to look horrible. And they're going to be spinning their wheels so bad week 1, it's going to carry on to week 2, week 3, week 4. They might catch their bearings about week 5, week 6. Then they will definitely start to pile on that, but it might be too late. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the most overrated team in the NFL going into 2020. Did you guys hear that? Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the most overrated team going into 2020. I think Vegas has them over under at 9.5 wins. Jameson has them going to the Super Bowl. They'll be lucky if they make the playoffs at 8-8. Lucky to make the playoffs at 8-8. But damn, guys, it is that time of night. Let's go ahead and get it started.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning.
And it is time for the 2-minute warning. Normally, we try to keep it lighthearted, keep it kind of ha-ha funny, right? But I saw a video of Tyreek Hill, Shad Ochocinco Johnson himself, and Terrell Owens all running 40-yard dashes the other day. Tyreek Hill is a fast mofo, right? Was it 4.2 or something like that? Something ridiculous. Terrell Owens, 46 years old, right? Still built like a brick shit house. This guy ran an unofficial 4.4. Unofficial means stopwatch, right? But usually pretty close, right? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it was a 4.5. But still, 4.4 at 46 years old. You guys want to talk about getting blackballed from the league? We've talked about Colin Kaepernick and how he doesn't deserve to be in the NFL because he simply just sucked. Terrell Owens was blackballed from the NFL. Even when he went to Cincinnati Bengals for that couple year or for 1 year, he still got like 900 yards receiving as like a 3rd or 4th string. Guys, 46-year-old Terrell Owens, I would take him on my NFL team today. I think he is that good of a skill. He has one of the best route running abilities, the best hands, and clearly his speed is still there. Like I said earlier, there is game time speed and there's practice speed. Yes, he might slow down to a 4.6, but man, what he's like 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". Big old hands, still big, still fast. Terrell Owens got blackballed from the league, guys. 100%. Man, I miss that guy. Alrighty, guys, that is it for tonight's show. Mike and Mike Man Hour comes at you every Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. East Coast time, live on our YouTube channel, Twitch channel, RTF Sports Facebook page, and of course our Mike and Mike Man Hours Facebook page as well. We're also streaming on Periscope and Twitter as well. So guys, feel free to follow us on any of those platforms whatsoever. We are still giving away that $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is head over to our Facebook page, hit that like button. That gets you entered in to win that $100 Amazon gift card. Every 500 likes, we're giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. We are less than 40 likes away for our first giveaway. Head over to that Facebook page, like it, and we will raffle it live right here on air. But guys, catch us next time, right here, same time, same place, 10 p.m. East Coast time. Mike and Mike Man Hour, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, and of course, RTFSportsNetwork.com, noon edition. Have a good night.
Yeah. Get high rapper. The Man Hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the Man Hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down? It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules and know that it be fair foul. Rep blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the lines. It's the Man Hour though, now we going live.
Thank you guys. Mike and Mike Man Hour. We are out. Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. East Coast time. RTSSportsNetwork.com. As always, live, raw, and uncut sports talk.